Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Love, relationships, attraction, it's all a dance. And the problem is, most people think the more you give, the more they'll stay. But that's not how this works. If you want a man to miss you like crazy, you've got to understand the power of silence. See, sometimes it ain't what you say, it's what you don't say that keeps you on his mind all day long. Ladies and gentlemen, let me break something down for you because too many people get this wrong when it comes to relationships. We live in a world right now where everybody thinks that being available 24/7 is the key to keeping someone's attention. You think if you tell him everything, show him everything, give him everything right away, that's going to make him stay. But I'm here to tell you, that's not how it works. Mystery is not a game. It's not manipulation. It's a natural part of attraction. It's the secret sauce that makes people want more. And the second you give all of yourself away before the man has earned it, before he's even had a chance to wonder about you, you take that magic away. See, when a man first meets you, he's curious. He's trying to figure you out. Who is she? What does she like? How does she live? What's her story? And if you spill every detail of your life in the first few days or weeks, there's no puzzle left for him to solve. And let me tell you something. Men love puzzles. We love figuring things out. We love feeling like we're slowly unlocking different parts of a woman's world. That's how we get invested. That's how we go from just meeting you to thinking about you all day long. But if you dump the whole story on the table at once, where's the excitement? The mystery isn't about being distant or cold. It's about pacing. It's about knowing that not every detail needs to be shared right away. Some things you let him discover on his own over time. Let him learn that you're an incredible cook 3 months in when you invite him over for dinner. Let him find out about your wild travel adventures in little pieces, not in one long monologue on the first date. Let him notice your talents, your quirks, your passions, without you announcing them all at once. That's what keeps him intrigued. That's what makes him think, man, every time I'm around her, I learn something new. You have to understand, attraction is a slow burn. It's not a microwave, it's a slow cooker. When you keep a little mystery, you're letting the flavor build. You're letting his curiosity grow. Every unanswered question makes him want to know more. Every little thing you hold back, not in a manipulative way, but in a confident way, makes him work just a little harder to get closer to you. And that effort is what creates value. Because here's the truth. When a man works for something, he appreciates it more. If you hand him everything without him having to put in any time, effort, or energy, he'll take it for granted. But when he has to earn pieces of you over time, when he has to spend days, weeks, even months learning who you really are, he starts to feel like you're worth every second of the wait. That's when the missing starts. That's when he's lying in bed at night thinking, what's she doing? What's she like? When she's not around me, I got to see her again. The mystery keeps the spark alive because it's not predictable. It keeps him leaning forward, wanting to hear the next chapter of your story. It makes your presence something he craves instead of something he assumes will always be there. And when you give him just enough to keep him hooked, but not so much that he's got you figured out, you create that sweet spot, the place where desire lives. Ladies, I promise you, this isn't about playing hard to get. It's about being worth the chase. It's about knowing that you don't have to put your whole self on display for someone to like you. You let him earn the deeper parts of you. You let him peel back the layers one by one. So by the time he's really close to you, he's invested, he's committed, and he's thinking about you non-stop. When you've got your own life, your own dreams, your own schedule, you instantly become more attractive. See, there's something magnetic about a person who isn't just sitting around waiting for someone else to call. It shows independence, it shows confidence, and it sends the message that you know your worth. Too many people make the mistake of making their entire life revolve around one person. The moment you do that, you start to lose the very spark that made them drawn to you in the first place. When a man knows you have things going on, that you're busy chasing your own goals, he respects your time more. If he calls and you can't answer because you're at the gym, working on your business, having lunch with your friends, or just taking time for yourself, it makes him realize he's not the only thing in your world, and that makes him want to be a bigger part of it. People value what they have to fit themselves into, not what's just waiting for them 24/7. There's also something powerful about energy. When you're living your life, doing things you love, you're naturally happier and more fulfilled. And that energy is contagious. A man will notice that glow on your face, that excitement in your voice when you talk about what you've been up to. You don't have to say, I'm a high-value woman. He'll feel it by the way you carry yourself. That's the difference between someone who's living and someone who's just existing. The truth is, when you stay busy and focused on yourself, you give him space to miss you. You're not constantly texting, calling, or checking in every hour. That little gap in communication creates anticipation. And anticipation is one of the strongest tools in attraction. It makes him wonder what you're doing, who you're with, and how he can get a spot in your calendar. But here's the thing, it has to be genuine. You can't fake this by pretending to be busy while secretly sitting at home scrolling through your phone waiting for him. You've got to actually invest in your own life. Take that class you've been thinking about. Start that side hustle. Go out with your friends. Work on your fitness, your hobbies, your personal growth. Fill your life with things that make you excited to wake up in the morning. When you do that, you'll find that you're not just waiting for someone to complete you. You are already complete, and they're just a bonus. And let's be honest, nothing is more attractive than someone who is already happy before you came along. It takes the pressure off the relationship and allows both people to bring their best selves to the table. You're not there to save him, and he's not there to save you. You're two whole people choosing to be together, not two halves trying to fill each other's emptiness. Now, when a man sees you like this, self-sufficient, thriving, and happy, it lights a fire under him. He wants to keep up. He wants to be part of your exciting world. And if he's smart, he knows he better treat you right because you're not afraid to walk away and keep living your best life without him. Living your own life also keeps you from becoming too dependent on someone else for your happiness. That's a dangerous place to be because if the relationship changes or ends, you feel like you've lost everything. But when you've got your own passions, your own identity, and your own circle, you'll be fine no matter what. And that kind of strength is irresistible. So while he's out there thinking about you, missing you, and wondering when he's going to see you again, you're out there making moves, building yourself, and enjoying your life. And the more he sees you shining on your own, the more he'll want to be part of it. That's how you make someone miss you. Not by sitting still and waiting, but by moving forward and living. One of the biggest mistakes people make in relationships is thinking that constant communication equals connection. They believe that if they're not talking every hour, sending a good morning text, a lunch update, a mid-afternoon selfie, and a play-by-play of every single thing they do, the other person will lose interest. But that's not how attraction works. Real connection doesn't come from flooding someone's phone with messages. It comes from meaningful moments that actually carry weight. When you talk too much too often, you take away the opportunity for someone to miss you. If a man already knows where you are, what you're eating, how you're feeling, and what you're doing every second of the day, there's nothing left for him to wonder about. Mystery disappears. Curiosity fades. And before you know it, conversations turn into routine instead of excitement. Intentional communication is different. It's not about avoiding someone or playing games. It's about making sure that when you do reach out, it matters. Instead of sending 10 texts in an hour about random little things, send one that makes them smile, laugh, or think about you. Instead of calling just because you're bored, call when you have something worth sharing. That way, every time your name pops up on his phone, it feels like a highlight, not just another notification. This approach also shows confidence. You're not desperate for attention, and you're not trying to fill silence just for the sake of filling it. Silence is powerful when used the right way. It gives both of you space to live your lives and bring new energy to the table when you do connect. That way, when you finally talk or see each other, you've actually got something to say. Men are wired to appreciate a little space. It gives them time to process their feelings, to think about you, and to realize how much they enjoy your company. If you're constantly in his ear, you don't give him a chance to notice your absence. And missing you is what makes him value you even more. Think about it. Absence creates appreciation, and appreciation strengthens attraction. You've probably experienced this before. There's a difference between someone who's always there filling up your phone and someone who reaches out at just the right moment with just the right thing to say. The second one stands out. It's intentional. It hits harder. And that's the kind of communication that stays in a person's mind. Being intentional also means paying attention to quality over quantity. If you're always texting meaningless things just to have contact, it starts to feel empty. But if you're sharing something interesting that happened, a thought you had or a memory you remembered, it creates a deeper connection. It becomes something worth talking about, something that sticks with him even after the conversation ends. Now, don't get it twisted. Intentional communication doesn't mean you ignore him or make him chase you endlessly. It's about balance. You still respond, you still engage, but you do it in a way that keeps the energy alive. If you're busy, you don't drop everything to answer right away. You get back to him when you can give him your full attention. That's how you keep the quality of your conversations high and your presence valuable. And here's the truth. When you stop trying to be in constant contact, you give yourself the chance to focus on your own life. You stop checking your phone every 5 minutes and start actually enjoying your day. That happiness, that peace, and that self-assured energy will naturally come through when you do talk to him. He'll feel it. He'll notice that you're not clingy, that you got your own thing going on, and that makes you even more attractive. When communication is intentional, it builds anticipation. He'll look forward to hearing from you instead of feeling like it's just part of a routine. And every time he does hear from you, it'll mean more because you've made it count. That's how you keep the spark alive without burning it out too fast. Confidence changes everything. It's not just about how you look. It's about how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you enter a room, and the way you make people feel when they're around you. You can have the nicest clothes, the best hair, the most expensive perfume, but if you don't believe in yourself, people will sense it immediately. On the flip side, even if you're in jeans and a t-shirt, when you walk like you know who you are and you own it, that's magnetic. That's what makes people turn their heads and wonder, who is that? A confident woman doesn't wait for someone to validate her. She doesn't need a man to tell her she's beautiful to believe it. She already knows it. She knows her value, her worth, and what she brings to the table. That kind of self-assurance is rare. And when a man sees it, it draws him in. Because deep down, every man wants a woman who is a prize, not someone who's begging to be chosen. Confidence isn't arrogance. It's not about thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about knowing that you're enough exactly as you are and not apologizing for it. It's about standing tall even when life throws you challenges, about showing grace under pressure, about keeping your head up when others might crumble. That quiet strength is powerful. When you carry yourself with confidence, you send a clear message. You're not desperate, you're not needy, and you're not going to settle for less than you deserve. And that alone changes the way people treat you. A man can feel the difference between someone who is hoping to be loved and someone who knows she deserves to be loved right. The second one, the confident one, gets respect without even asking for it. Confidence also makes your presence unforgettable. When you speak, people listen. When you smile, it lights up the room. When you walk away, you leave an impression that lingers. That's what makes someone miss you. The fact that you're not just another face in the crowd. You're someone who stands out because you believe in yourself, and that energy stays with them long after you're gone. Part of confidence is being comfortable in your own skin. That means you don't feel the need to compare yourself to other women or compete for attention. You understand that what you have is unique and that no one can duplicate your exact combination of personality, values, and experiences. And because you know that, you're not afraid to let your authentic self shine. Men notice that kind of authenticity. They remember it. They miss it when it's not there. The beauty of confidence is that it's not just about attracting someone else. It's about improving your own life. When you're confident, you make better decisions, you set higher standards, and you don't tolerate nonsense. You walk away from situations that don't serve you, and you don't waste time trying to convince someone of your worth. You know that the right people will recognize it without you having to beg. And here's the interesting part. Confidence actually makes space for someone to miss you. When you're confident, you're not afraid to give space. You're not blowing up his phone because you're worried he'll forget about you. You trust that your presence is memorable enough that he'll think about you without you having to remind him every 5 minutes. That quiet certainty, that I know I'm forgettable mindset, is incredibly attractive. When a man meets a confident woman, he knows she's not going to put up with games. He knows that if he wants to be in her life, he has to bring his best self too. And that's the kind of dynamic that keeps relationships strong and healthy. You don't lower yourself to fit into someone's life. They step up to meet you where you are. Confidence isn't something you can fake for long. It's built from knowing who you are, working on yourself, and loving yourself even when you're not perfect. And when you have it, you won't have to